Hi there, good evening, guys, and welcome to Business and Leadership Forum with Uchonoche this evening. Thank you guys for always tuning in. I say you guys are the best. Facebook, you always representing, you always showing. Instagram, YouTube, also on Zoom. Thank you guys for always coming out to join me every time I come out by 5 p.m. on Mondays. But now it's Business and Leadership Forum, and thank you guys for coming. We are still on the series of life lessons that you wish you had known. You know, I always say that every time I talk to people, especially much younger people, I tell them you are gifted, you are blessed rather that at this time that you have people, you have mentors, mentors that you can look up to, mentors that if you are a believer, if you are mentors on different levels of faith, mentors on different aspects of life, work life as well. It was not like that, not that detailed. We didn't have internet when I was in my early 20s. There was no internet, and so there was research was quite a lot. We all waited for what's it called, Britannica. What is that? Encyclopedia Britannica. That's what we all waited for, so that we will be able to learn quite a lot of what was happening. But now we have Google. Just a press of a button, you can get a lot of information. And the same thing with a lot of people. Yeah, they must have been those people before, but I didn't know that. But now with go to Google, you can search whoever you want to search and be able to get also be able to get in touch with them. You can also get in touch with them through their social media handles. So now is you are at an advantage point. That's what I'm trying to say. We are at a time that technology has given us that opportunity has given us the opportunity for us to be well informed. So if you're not informed, then I think you have yourself to blame, nobody else. And so you can search out and find out things that you should have done better, but you didn't, or just listen to people. Maybe you have not passed through life the way we have, and so maybe you haven't really gotten to that point. You can say, oh, had I known, in retrospect I should have done this, and all that. But that's why I've come with live sessions to help you understand some certain things. There are some basic things in life that cannot change. There are basic things in life that cannot change, and these are the things that I'm bringing forth. This for the next 4 weeks. I think this is the 3rd week. Next week we round up, so it's going to be exciting. So just hang in there as I just get into what I'm going to talk about today. I have a couple of points, I think about 7 or 8 of them I want to talk to us about today. And the first one is life is not fair. Life is not fair. I remember my kids, especially my second son, he always says it's not fair, it's not fair. And I tell him that life is not fair. Nobody ever told you life was. If anybody told you life was fair, then that person lied to you. And he said, what do I mean? For many years, he would just look at me, he couldn't ask questions. But the older he got a day that he said to me, is that, what do I mean that life is not fair? I said, because you can't get everything you want. Life doesn't always go the way you want. You might wake up today and say, today is going to be a beautiful day. But before you leave your house, 2 people would have annoyed you. something would have happened. You get downstairs, your car is not starting. While you're going to get battery to start your car, rain start falling, and you're wearing white on that day, and some dude comes and splashes water on you speeding. You know, your day is just so messed up. You woke up that day happy, singing and all that, you know, but life doesn't ask for your permission for it to happen. You get up in the morning, maybe you have a meeting by 7 a.m. You get up by 3 o'clock in the morning. You know, you say, I was being this meeting. You leave home by 5:30, only for you to have your car to break down, or for you to be in some traffic jam. And you're wondering why. But I got up early. You know, life happens to all of us. Life is not fair. And I know that it can lead to frustrations. But however, today I want to tell you, in the end, life always has best intentions for you. What did I say? Life always has best intentions for you. What do I mean? What I mean is that, have you ever been, there are some people that were rushing to get to the airport, and by the time they got to the airport, they missed their flights, and they were like livid, upset with everybody, only for them 1 hour down the line to hear that that plane crashed. You know, at that time you say, oh, disappointments can also be a blessing. I've had a lot of people, and always ask a couple of people that their hearts been broken, and I always ask them, so what do you think now, and with the, especially if I know the person that broke their heart, and what do you think? And most of them was like, what was I thinking? Look at what I have now. Look at what I was killing myself and dying for at that particular time. That they can't even imagine. You see, I think about that because that's the reason why you see men will marry at a very earlier on in life, and they marry because they can't see their future. And now they become MDs or multinationals, and the wives they have all of a sudden start feeling that these wives don't measure up, and you know, and some of them will not even bring their wives to functions, and some of them will even start having flames or things at the side, keeping people here and there because they can't see. I know if a man he's not into, he doesn't have adultery issues, but when he goes to those type of meetings, he goes with his daughter. He sent his daughter to university in France, so she can, and the daughter can speak like 3-4 languages. So he uses it as an excuse to always take his daughter to meetings because he works with white people. But in essence, really, the truth about it is that he doesn't think his wife, he doesn't think his wife can measure up, so he doesn't even want to take her there. And you might ask, why is it that he has not upgraded his wife? But we don't know. We are not in that relationship. Also, I try to mind my own business. But I think that the guy is enlightened enough to know that he can upgrade his wife. But somewhere along the line, what I'm saying is that life has some best intentions for you. So when things happen, is because life or God has seen that this thing will be a problem for you. So you know, they say it's better you break up in a relationship, a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, than to break up in marriage when it's devastating and terrible. So when you have when you break up as boyfriend-girlfriend, you'll be devastated as well, but not compared to when you have married that person and their kids, and you have given someone 10-15 years of your life for you to now realize that it's not what you thought. You know, when things don't go your way, sit down and always sit down and weigh things and realize that, yeah, life has some good intentions for me. I think the Bible says that God's thoughts towards us are thoughts of good, not of evil, to bring us to a place, to an expected end, a place of peace. And so it is when things begin to happen, sometimes you might not feel God. when you don't feel God, God is actually working more at that time. And when you are disappointed and all those things, throwing the usual tantrums, and I feel you, because we've all been there. We're humans, we don't know tomorrow, so, and all we know is now. So anything that happens now, we begin to worry about that. So but we throw tantrums and say, oh, why this, why that, but life has good intentions for you. That's what I want to tell you. When you lose a business, you can imagine telling somebody that lose a business and lost a lot of money, and you're telling him life happened to you, he probably will punch you. But the truth of the matter is that if you will go back and critically analyze the things you did and didn't do, you will come out a better entrepreneur, and you will do better next time. There's nothing perfect in life. You can never have a perfect life. Nothing is perfect. You can't have you can't have perfect children. You can't have a perfect spouse. You can't have a perfect business. You just can't have it. So you need to acknowledge this lesson, and you need to start living and be aware that life is not perfect. Sometimes there are some rough edges. Sometimes there are some things that happen to you cannot explain. Feeling like the world, we have a lot of people with a lot of expectant mentality. They feel that the world owes them something. They feel that their parents owe them something. They feel that their bosses owe them something. They feel that life generally owes them things. You understand? But really, it doesn't owe them. Life doesn't really owe you anything. You become what you will yourself to be. It's not true when you feel that, okay, certain things just need to happen to you because you are here. No, things don't work like that. Things work when you walk them. You need to realize that you need to make a way in your life. There will always be people. You need to make a way in your life. Today I'm speaking. I speak for a living. Mostly I speak for a living. I speak every day, almost every day or every other day I am speaking. But this speaking it's not something you could have seen in my past, because my past can never, it's not the express mirror image of what I'm doing now. People that know me will not believe that I am doing this, but life, you get to a point that you must make a way for yourself. You must say, no, I need to do something differently. I need to change my life, and it's possible for you to change your life for the better. All right, another thing you also need to know is that there will always be people that are more knowledgeable than you, that are younger than you, more knowledgeable than you, and there's nothing you can do about it. You might be reigning now, you might be the reigning champion right now, but there's someone younger than you that is coming. That is coming on the way. Someone is coming, and you just need to realize that. Sometimes I sit in meetings and I'm there sitting and I'm thinking that I'm smart, but I see people, the way they analyze things and the way their brain works, and I'm like, wow, these people really, they are quite smart. And I accept that. Yes, you just need to accept that people are better than you in certain things, but no one person can be better than you all round. No, but they can be better than you in a particular area. Just realize that it has nothing to do with life not being fair. Some people understand maths, some people don't. Some people know chemistry, but they don't know physics. Some people know physics, but they don't know biology. So it's just natural. It's a natural gift. Some people can speak well, some people struggle. So it is just, life is not perfect, and people will always know more than you. Okay, the second point I want to bring out today is that you are actually stronger than you think. A man was giving a testimony when he said he was a banker at that time. And he said, we were talking, and he was like, that for any reason that he hopes that nothing happens in the bank where he works, because the bank will just get the police and show you'll be in cell while you're trying to sort yourself out. And he was like, I can't That's something I can never do. I try to stay on the good side of the law, but and he said he can't cope with it. But now he had a fraudulent colleague who framed up almost like 15 people, male and female, mostly married people, and framed them up and disappeared into thin air, relocated out of the country. And the bank, whoever has put their signature there, they will feel that something about it. And so all of them were arrested, and it was a case that took like about 3 to 6 months. And he realized that at the end of it, when he came out, he was like, wow, I didn't know I was that strong. But he lived through it. Your plane crashes in the middle of the desert. Nobody knows where you are. You will survive. I think there's a movie about a FedEx official that crashed somewhere in the ocean, and as he crashed there, he had to live in that island. He lived in the island until miraculously he was delivered. So how did he survive? You will realize that you have some innate gifts and survivor's skills that you know not of. You will survive. You will survive. Stand up for yourself and make everything that life throws at you. Life throws things at you. So it's like life throws things at you, throws hurdles at you. And so you need to be scaling those hurdles for you to be able to. Anytime you scale one hurdle, you're moving upward. And the thing with moving up is that you might not know that you're moving up until you see yourself at the top. That is how life happens. Out of every tragedy, there's a blessing, whether you believe it or not. Out of every misfortune, there's promotion. There is wisdom. Things come out from there that make you stronger and wiser. So it's not every time there's crisis, I know the first thing is that we panic. Anytime something bad happens, the first thing is that we feel bad. Of course, we are humans. That will be our first response. But after all is said and done, what happens? After all is said and done, what happens? I think you need to also go back and say, what is the blessing that is coming out of this? I hope we're taking notes. See what? Yes. After all that is said and done, you need to realize that there are lessons in all these things. And if you get that lesson, see, if life throws something, balls at you, and you can't juggle it, and that season passes, it will throw another ball. If it threw a blue ball at you, it will throw a pink one at you. The same thing might not be the same scenario, but the same thing. You need to pass it for you to scale. If you have stayed on one mountain for so long, part of the reason is that you need to scale. You need to scale through and get to the top of the mountain by realizing that you are stronger, really stronger than you think you are. The human body, even the human body, I was discussing with my wife about fasting, and we're talking about fasting, especially if you're fasting or dieting for weight loss. You realize that if you do it excessively, when you're hungry, you can gain back all the weight within a short space of time. But if you allow it organically, from my experience of what I've seen, because I came down from 98 kg, if you organically have cut down, the weight is about food intake, cut down on the food intake and do for me, I'm not a trainer there, but what works for me is that, look, I just do my exercises, make sure I do my 10,000 steps a day, and I cut down on what I'm eating. And I think the first 1 week I dropped almost like 6-7 kg. just because I just alter, or I have altered quite a lot, just a few things rather, and you see, the body, if you keep starving the body, it will get into starvation mode, and when it gets into starvation mode, instead of that, it starts feeding on all the reservoir of fats and the calories and everything that you have stored up. And guess what? You stop losing. You will not be losing weight. You start adding. Ask the nutritionists; they will tell you, and physical trainers. You must see that you don't do anything drastic, because this body, God has already made this body to be able to survive extreme hardship. You don't understand how humans can go through extreme hardship until you go through it. See, no matter what is happening, I'm not belittling what you have gone through. It could be a loss of a loved one, be loss of a business, friendship, marriage, and all that. I'm not belittling it, but I tell you, as time passes, you will learn that you are stronger than you think. You're a survivor, and because you're a survivor, you will be able to scale. Look, let me tell you, whoever is watching this and going through this, you can make it. You can come out of it. You can make it. So just stay there, hang in there, and you will come out of it, and you tell the story. Who knows, maybe a ministry is at the end of it, because you can now use that to help people that are going to go through the same thing that you're going through. Okay, another point, the third point I want to bring out is all problems, no matter how huge, they have solutions. There are solutions to practically every single thing that happens under the sun. You see, everything that is happening has happened to someone, is going to happen to someone. So there's really no secret under the sun. What is happening to you has happened to millions, billions of people. And so people have gone through what you're going through, and whatever problem you're going through, realize that it has a solution. And this is a very important lesson for you to learn. When you're faced with problems, for instance, it's always important to put in time and energy to find a solution. Don't let things slide. Don't sweep things under the carpet. A lot of people, don't be like the ostrich. You put your head under the sand, and your body is exposed. Some people don't deal with issues and problems very well. They just compartmentalize it and just keep it somewhere. You see, even if you don't find the best solutions right away, don't give up. There is always a solution. If for anything happens, I will keep probing and keep asking, sometimes politely, sometimes not too politely. I am trying to find out exactly what happened, what is happening, and what solution can be there. I'm solution driven, and I will advise you that no matter what it is not impossible. There is something, there's a solution to it. There's an agreement. Yes, I've had situations where I say, well, there is no solution to this, until we got to a point where we had to negotiate. It becomes a win-win situation. You lose some, you gain some. Sometimes you are right and somebody is wrong, but at the end of the day, you have to concede a bit, and the person will concede a bit, and two of you leave that place at least happy that one conceded to the other, and so it's a win-win situation. There's always, no matter how bad, there's always a solution. A friend of mine came and said to me, I'm owing a bank. I don't know whether it's bank I'm owing, and that he doesn't know how to go about it, and he knows after a while he might be in deep waters. And I said to him, there must be a way. Go and look at this debt, and look at what happened, why you're not able to pay this debt. Go to the debt, go to your lenders and just ask them and say, this is what happened. Explain to them, and you guys can come to a compromise. He says, no, that those people are hardcore capitalists. Those people, Shiloh, they will never accept or never agree. They want their pound of flesh, said all manner of things. I say, look, start. You have nothing to lose. Why don't you go there and discuss with them? So what he did, he took some time, and I said, fully articulate this thing that is going on. When you are done, take it to them. So he put it a short write-up, and he said he wanted to see them. Sent in the write-up before he got there. So they had a day to read it, and when he came, he said, look guys, I just want to explain myself, and you guys can take a verdict. So he explained himself. To his surprise, they were just looking at him. They didn't say a word to him, and he felt, no, I've come to make a fool of myself. And in between the presentation, he wanted to stop, but he said, no, let him just, he's already done it, let him just see it to the end. He didn't say a word to him. He finished his presentation. They said, okay, they will get back to him. That day they didn't call him. The next day they didn't call him, and he was getting worried that maybe they will come with the police to pick him up the next time. A week after they called him, he sat down, said, we looked at all the things that you have said, that we are not evil men. We understand, we go through this. You know, they asked one or two questions, and at the end of the day, they shaved off almost like 40% of the debt. They shaved it off, and they now asked him, okay, this is how you can pay some of this other 60%. Okay, run this contract, you will do this contract for us as the project manager. At the end of the day, there was some form of concession, and that the money he had to pay, and you can imagine, you were supposed to pay like 100 million. They shaved off 40 million, and out of that 40 million, you were supposed to, they shaved off another 10 or 20 million because of you were doing some certain jobs for them. Then after that, that is 60. Then the other ones, they gave you a payment plan for you to be able to be paying to so and so. There's nothing really God cannot do. Nothing really God cannot. There's always a solution. There's always a solution. I told a friend of mine that, look, I'm going to ask the owners of the office complex where I am. I said, look, I'm going to ask them. We're in the thick of COVID in 2020. I said, why don't you ask? I'm going to ask mine that, look, guys, nobody's earning. Can't you shave up something for the rent for this year? That this is COVID year, people are going through. Well, mine wasn't successful, but his was. And the guy said, I understand, who is even working? You know, but his wasn't even the office, it was his house. And he said, look, this is what I do. If I don't go to work, I don't earn. And luckily, his landlord shaved off 50% for just that year. So you can imagine you're paying 1 million naira per annum, and the guy takes 500,000 from you. That guy has saved the life. He has done noble. He has done great. You know, so there's always a solution. Don't think that people are bad. You know, sometimes when we meet someone that when he's angry or when he's not happy, we tend to take it that is his character all the time. But it's not. You might have just met him on a bad day. Doesn't really mean that that's how he is. You know, so we might just have that impression. This guy, he will not agree. But by the time you try, you see a different side. Nothing ventured, nothing gained. And if you try, it's not successful, you try again. There's always one window. If all the doors get shut, then there's always a window that God keeps for you, because He said He will make a way of escape, no matter what it is. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but He delivers them from all, and He can make that window for you somewhere that you can escape. Okay, so you're thinking that things at your worst moment, pick up yourself, think of the best solutions, focus on rising with strength. Think of the best solutions, ask questions, ask people that have gone through things, speak to your mentor, and you will get a good you get a good bargain at the end of the day. It's not that difficult. You see, I always say the universe, God, some people call it the universe, I call it God, always has a way to help us out. But the blessing, like I say, is on the go. The blessing is on the go. When you make a move, God makes a move. If you don't make a move, God doesn't make a move. So you need to make that move, and so that you can change whatever circumstances you want to change. So make that move right now, and because the blessing is on the go, and you'll be surprised the kind of things that can come up. There's always a solution to a problem. This is what I'll tell you. Write down your problems in details, and write down the problems. Then you write down the solution. Then you take it to someone, discuss. Do you think this can work for this? In the multitude of counselors, there's safety. So by the time you are talking to people, you get to a point that, okay, this is the right action to take. But write it down. Anything you don't write down is lost. And you might not know the full weight or magnitude of what you're dealing with if you don't write it down sometimes. Don't be afraid to seek help when you need it. Don't be afraid. Don't be pompous or proud to say, how can I go and talk to people? Is it not me? Proud people lose out on a lot of fronts, lose out a lot, so don't approach people. I always say there's nobody that you can't talk to. Just talk to them in a polite way. There's nobody that you can't talk to. There's no case that you can't present. Just present them well, doing your homework, and you'll be surprised how you're solving major problems. Okay, this one we know, but I have to say it because it's dangerous to our health. And what is it? I just want to say forgiveness sets you free. Not even the person that offended you. You need to forgive. I'm sure you've had this many times, and people say that person doesn't deserve my forgiveness. Yes, maybe it's true, but you see, you are not doing it for them, you're doing it for yourself. There's some mean, nasty people out there. They will hurt you, and if you give them opportunity again, they will still hurt you. Forgiving them doesn't mean that you have to bring them into your life. Forgiving them doesn't mean you have to grant them access into your life. They will always remain in the outer circle. Everybody has their own inner circle and outer circle. You offend me, you were in my inner circle, you offend me, and I put you in the outer circle. I hold you in high esteem, and you offend me, I won't put you in that circle of those that are highly exalted in my eyes. But it doesn't mean I'll be rude to you. Doesn't mean when I see you I will greet you well, but that access you might not get. That's a different matter. But forgiving you is moving on, because when you forgive, you're not holding on to that hurt, anger, frustration towards people. 2017, there was a deep hurt, a deep cut in my heart, and someone did to me. It took a while. Even when I think about it right now, I am still pained, but it's not that bad. If I see this person, will I talk to him? Of course. I've seen him very few times, and we've been able to exchange pleasantries, but that's where it is. Will I grant access again? I will not grant access, but I've learned to release that frustration, anger, because if you don't, medically, it's been proven that if you carry grudge for so long, it can lead to it can lead to all manner ulcer. It can lead to all manner of illnesses that come into the body. So why do we have to open ourselves to sickness because of what one person did? So the best way is to forgive them, and move on. If you see them, you guys can talk and gist and do all those things, but does not mean that you're going to open up your house, your office, or whatever you opened up to them before you were hurt. No, you don't have to do that. But you don't have to also be strangers. You don't have to hold a grudge, but you also don't need to bring them into the inner circle. Bad people close to you, anger and hurt are not only bad for people close to you, but also yourself, because you become bitter. Bitterness can lead to sicknesses that I've told you, but not just for you, but that bitterness, you transfer it to everybody around you just because of somebody did something to you. That person is not exerting too much power on you, and it ought not to be so. That person is exerting too much power. It ought not to be so. How can you give somebody that power to the extent that you get home, you lash out at your kids, and you say harsh words to your wife because somebody did something to you, and it's better you forgive them and release them and let them go. Somebody did something to my building, a house I was building, and it was supposed to do the roof job, and when I got there, I saw people using scissors to cut roofing sheets. I went livid. In fact, I went ballistic. It was crazy, but when I think of about it, I can't eat. I will find it difficult to eat. So much anger and venom on the inside of me. And I said, look, I need to purge this, forgive this person, and move on, and believe God for funds to redo a roof. At that time, it was 1-point-something million. Now, so you can imagine having to redo it again when the cost of materials have even increased. But we just have to go, because there are people that are always there. When you release people, you have inner joy, peace, happiness, and but when you don't release them, you continue to harbor toxic emotions that can lead to bitterness, which can lead to sickness, and it can lead to discomfort to anybody that is around you. You ought not to be so. Forgive other people for your sake, more for your sake than for them. Okay, another point I want to bring out here is that some people don't want you to succeed. You will be surprised. This is a very important lesson. Some people don't want you to survive. Your family and friends always want the best for you, but they are afraid also of losing you. They are afraid. See, they don't want you to go into certain ventures because they are afraid for you that you will not make it. And when you don't make it, and when you don't make it, and you decide to fall, and the pieces, they have to pick up that pieces, and they don't want to. So you're going into this business. I'm trying to tell you how family thinks. But when you go into business and that business fails, and you become broke, they will have to be the one that will come and take care of you, and they don't want it. So because of that, they rather you play it safe, get a job, don't put all of us into trouble. So also parents, also people don't want you to start a business so that you don't leave. Your family don't want you to relocate so that you don't go out of the country because they are afraid. Do you know that there's a woman that every time they say let them pray for husbands, their husband's businesses to grow, she doesn't pray until people keep asking her, what is wrong? Why are you not? She doesn't promote anything. She works in, I think she works in a very good company. She has a good job. But the husband has been struggling for a long while, and people are asking, why don't you know people that you can use to set up your husband, or you can even give him funds to restart his business? But she was reluctant until many years after someone that is a close friend of hers she now revealed the secret, of of why she doesn't want to help the husband, and she was like, I need him to be there. Somewhere in the early part of their marriage, when the man was doing well, I think there was a case of infidelity. Though the man denied it, there was no proof. People around said the man actually didn't do it, but he appeared as if something was that. He was very close to an opposite sex. Because she was against it, the man dropped the relationship, but she felt that something must have happened, and because of that, she's like, if this man will ever get into his full element, that he will cheat and probably kick her out. So in order for her, for this man not to leave her, let this man remain this way, I will be the one that will be taking care of things. The woman was shocked. The woman was shocked. So it's not, some people don't want you to succeed. And those people, I'm not telling you they are your enemies. I'm not telling you that they are far. Those people are close. Those people, family wants you to stay safe and live in that comfort zone. Many people don't want you to leave that comfort zone, you know. Many people don't want you to desire to leave that level where they are. Anytime you try to leave, they will be drawing you down with their nonsense ideology, ideas, and the reasons why they will not work. You know, they will be pulling you down. They don't want you to leave your comfort zone. Look, let me tell you, once you start to leave your comfort zone, you start to move, you begin to have enemies. And people, look, I pity people when you have moved up and your homies or your friends or your homeboys or whoever you used to hang out with, they are here now and you're here. The biggest mistake you want to do is to come down and say, let me, no, for sake of humility, let me come down. Let me tell you, you will not be able to rise again. 20 boys can't play together for 20 years. There will be a time that they will go their separate ways. So it is because we are close to, nothing is permanent in life. My key friends in secondary school, I haven't seen some. I haven't seen them since after secondary school. Perhaps I might never see them again in this life. The same thing in university. Some people we thought that we will never separate from. You know, look at it. You might not even be able to, you're not able to, you might not see them again. You know, so you don't want to be crazy. They don't want you, you know, coming back to people that are close to you, that might, they don't want you to move out. They don't want you. In fact, some parents don't even, some mothers might not even really want their sons to get married and have partners, you know, because or start a new business or start a new career that will take them out of the city, you know. But they have to allow you to get married, so they don't say you're a witch. They don't say that they are a witch, so they will allow their sons to get married. But you see such people who prognose in the relationship of their sons. You know, so you need to realize it. And not because somebody is close or family means that you always need, you have to consider everything they have to say and don't make a move. It's your life. At some point you need to make that decision, cut off from people that you needed to cut off. As the time that all my family was in Lagos and I came down to Port Harcourt, I got a job that brought me down to Port Harcourt. The rapid growth, in fact, is phenomenal. The rapid growth. When I came to a place where I didn't know anybody, I was worried because I didn't know anybody. But that worked to my advantage because I didn't have too many advisors. I didn't have too many people watching over you because you are still in that family setting. So it's not everybody that, some people don't want you to succeed. It's intentional. Some people, because of their actions, and it's not intentional, actually out of love, They don't want you to succeed because they don't want you to move out of that comfort zone, have a problem, and that thing falls on their head. Once you start your journey, the right people will begin to show up. I told you the blessing is on the go. Stop worrying about what people say or think. Worry about that thing that is your inner yearning, that thing that is your hearing inside that you want to do. Follow your heart. Follow your heart, follow your spirit. They do not fail. Stick to your path. Remember that in life, this is one of the best lessons you can learn, that some people lovingly don't want you to succeed. Some people knowingly also don't want you to succeed. You should be able to learn how to decipher it and move on. Okay. All right. Another point I want to bring out is that help others as much as you can. Learn to help others as much as you can. You need to start helping people as much as you can. It doesn't have to be your family members and friends at all. One good turn deserves another. I tell you, one good turn deserves another. It could be the elderly person in a parking lot, a single mother that you just helped out, someone in the supermarket struggling. I always do that. Some people struggling, they have to calculate, take things back, or you see them with their kids telling them, I need ice cream, I need this, and and they're saying, shut up, you can't give. Sometimes I politely ask, can I buy for them? And you might think they'll say no, but they'll say yes. And just volunteer to do something for someone. Volunteer to do something. It always comes back to you. There are people that need help in the world. The world is transformed by your example, not by your opinions. Some people are opinionated, but the world cannot change. There are some thought leaders that they will come and give you all these highfalutin ideas about this, about that. But it's not about your opinions. It's by the examples, by your examples, what you do, how you touch lives. Instead of judging people, you should reach out and help. You don't know their story. You don't know people's story. Make that big difference in their lives. Help people, and you know what? That help will come back to you. Even if it doesn't come back to you, come back to your kids. It will come back to your kids. Good measure, pressed down and shaken together. Okay, another point I want to bring out here is that don't focus too much on your plans. You've heard me talk about the future. Don't focus too much on plans. Life teaches us lessons to prove us wrong by throwing weird obstacles in our paths. You have made this plan and you say this is going to work. Then what happens? Just like I said earlier on, you've made up your mind. I'm going to get to that meeting, and I'm going to get to that meeting. Aha! I remember there's this guy that is always coming early to meetings. He's always the first person there to meetings, and he was always getting accolades and always getting gifts, and the MD was always praising him and all that. And he became, not that he became cocky, but his close friends started using it to mock them as jest and all those things. He was okay with his friends. He was okay, but life decided to throw him a punch. That's the guy that was wearing white on that day, and he wanted to go out. His car, no battery. He got the battery. The alternator was bad, wasn't charging. Too many things. If he puts up the car, he has to get people to push it. He was wearing white, and someone passed through splash water on him, mud water on him. Things were just happening. He couldn't meet the meeting, meet up with time. He had to call that he had to go back home to change. Long story short, he was only able to get a meeting of 4 hours. He was only able to be there for 30 minutes, and his bosses were not happy when that happened. So life throws those things at you, those where obstacles are put, to prove you wrong. That is not about how effective you are, how well you plan. You know, you can't live your life strictly according to plan. You cannot. You have to make allowance, make room for life. Because life has a funny way of giving you uppercut when you think all things are good, when you think there's safety. A sudden destruction comes from somewhere and gives you an uppercut. How do you respond to that? You can spend your days creating plans only to have a random thing come and throw it all, scatter everything. You know, the word I will tell you is that make your plans, but learn to adapt to things and move with the flow. Yes, I have this plan. This has happened. Have a plan B. Live your life in, okay, it has happened. How can we deal with it? Be open-minded and flexible. Okay, it has happened. Stop complaining and throwing tantrums. Even when you complain and throw tantrums, because we are human beings, but after a while, I think you should also say, how do I get out of this? I tell myself, Uche, adapt or die. In business, adapt or die. In life, adapt. Because if you don't adapt, you will just fizzle out. It has happened, yes, it's bad, it's yes, but now what do we do to move forward? You must always have that at the back of your mind, because if you don't, you get to a point where you might live with certain regrets. Okay, also this brings me to the second, another point. This is my second to last point. Nothing is permanent in life. Don't have a plan, because nothing is permanent. In life, there's going to be good times and bad times, no matter what. And nothing lasts forever. There's going to be 7 years of famine. There's going to be 7 years of plenty. You can't change it. All the horrible things that you have experienced today, what has happened? They've come and they've gone. And many years down the line, you start laughing at yourself. Wow, did that really happen to me? You know, you start laughing at what you did. But at that time, it was not funny. Good things come and good things go. Bad things come and bad things have an end. There's an end to good times. There is an end to bad times. So you must be able to adapt or you die. Adapt or you become bitter. You need to avoid getting too much wrapped up in the current happenings and cherishing good times, because you know after the good times come the bad times. And let me even talk about finances. There's a time that anything you put your hands on will prosper. People will be calling you, do this job, do that, do this, do. In fact, you'll be subletting some of these jobs because they're just too much. When people call you, you tell them, please, can I recommend someone that is good, because I don't want to take the job and disappoint you. But there's a time that you'll be calling every day for 6 months, 1 year, nobody's going to listen to you. Nothing is permanent. That's why if you're making money at that season, please go and learn investment. Save. Start by saving. When you save, you learn how to invest so that money will be producing money for you, so that your investment will be bringing something for you. So at that period, the times where you are, everything is like on lockdown and against you, you'll be feeding from your investment until that season comes and goes. I pity people when things are good. They feel that they will always be good. I pity companies that they're doing well, they have contracts, and they feel that that's how it's going to continue. You know, and they start dropping smaller contracts only for big contracts. By the time the big contract cease, you come back to the smaller ones, they're not ready for you. Don't be afraid when you're in the middle of crisis. It will come, and it will come to an end. Embrace the good experiences you've had in life and prepare yourself, brace yourself for anything that happens. And if anything bad happens, know that it's only temporary. You are going to pass. That too will come and it will pass. Nothing is permanent. There's nothing you can do about it. There's nothing I can do about it. But we can cope when it comes. You cope, be strong, and when you be strong and know that, yes, I'm in the dark season of my life, but very soon I'm going to get to the end of the tunnel and I'm going to see that light. And those people that are determined like that are the people that survive. And the people that see it through and come out as if nothing happened to them. There's nothing permanent in life. Get that and you will get peace. All right. I will end there. This is my last point. People change. My last point for today, people change. Most times we don't give people a second chance. But people do change. Listen, husband and wives. Husbands evolve, wives evolve. Don't expect that the wife you married for 10 years will remain the same. Or the wife or husband you married for 5 years will remain the same. Their interests may differ. Their tastes will differ. Their taste in clothes and food will differ. It has something that, it doesn't mean that he doesn't enjoy your food. It's just that his taste is different. His taste or desire for that particular food is different now. He wants other things. Why don't you just accept that people change? People change doesn't mean that he has a girlfriend cooking for him outside. Maybe he prefers now to eat something. Maybe he likes okra. And now he's telling you, I want to eat egusi. It doesn't mean that somebody is cooking egusi for him outside. People change. The same way your wife wants to maybe have a time of her own doesn't mean that she doesn't love you anymore, or she just tells you it's you and the kids today. It doesn't mean that she's falling out of love or she has other concerns. She just needs a break, and maybe you give her that break. And so people change, and you just need to you just need to understand that. Just understand. Even you change. You find yourself shunning people out or looking down at people. We have that tendency that when someone is going through things, especially you see them, they are broke, they are broke, not looking so well, not looking so good. We can judge them and let it be that, judge them thinking that maybe it's their fault where they are. Most times we don't give people a second chance, and it's not good. We judge them by their actions and our own assumptions, and it's not good. We should stop that and try and realize that that person you saw 5 years ago has changed, or the person you're seeing now is going to change. The person you were 10 years ago is not the person you are now. The same applies to other people. Don't judge people. We all have a past. Not because I live this certain lifestyle in the past, you mean you will judge me. A lot of people judge me. A lot of people that know me in the past, they always pass judgment because they feel that I will always remain this. Well, people change. People change, And I met a guy that was, those type of people, if they tell you good morning, you have to go outside and check whether it's morning or it's evening. But I saw him many years after, and every time I'm dealing with him, that thought comes into my mind. But that which is in my mind and that which I'm seeing are two different things. This man has grown to become a gentleman, very wealthy, and but that thing always pops up in my mind. This guy used to be this, but I give him the benefit of doubt. I just have to give him the benefit, because I can't live like that, judging people every minute, whatever he says, what he does. I'm looking at it and to see if there's anything there, So people change. Even you have changed. So give people chance also to change. Leave people's past behind and avoid bringing it up at all times. People need change, and people should be left at that. All right, my people on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube, and on Zoom, thank you guys for always coming. We're still on the live lessons series. Next week, Monday, I'm coming with the final I'm coming with the final part of the series. Don't miss it. It's going to be awesome. We're going to have the awesome last week of this series. I hope to see you. Thank you for always coming. You guys make my day every time I come here and I see you guys live. I see you guys live here with me. I'm always happy. Thank you guys. Before I go, I want to specially invite you on Wednesday by 5 p.m. West African time is my counseling session, my mentoring and counseling session. I hope to see you. It's called Counseling Corner with Uche Onochie. I hope to see you. How do you participate? Just send the question. And I tell people we have 5 core areas here at Marketplace Apostle where we deal with issues. The first one is business, career, leadership, personal finance, and life issues, relationships, as it borders on relationships, both personal and corporate relationships. These are the things we deal with here. So we're going to a seminar or webinar is going to come out on Monday. On Wednesday. The webinars are on Mondays, 5 p.m. That's what we just did. But the counseling corner is 5 p.m. on Wednesdays. I hope to see you. It's an offshoot rather of my coaching business, and I use it. This is like CSR, that people ask questions and I come and I counsel and mentor them. But some people say that, well, it's not enough for me. You can reach out and we can have dedicated time for you that I can speak to you and guide you. I hope you can take that offer. But before I go, I want to introduce this, our biggest, largest event we do every year, Make in Nigeria 2022. This is the 12th edition. It's the largest gathering of business people, entrepreneurs, government people, business enthusiasts, startups, SMEs, retirees, professionals, government officials, you just name it, the general public, students, young and old. It's the largest gathering. We record 12,000, 15,000, 16,000. It's for 6 days. So you can imagine having that 6 days of powerful networking opportunities. You will hear speakers from all over the world, and it's free. Speakers from all over the world, you will hear them. Their master classes, their exhibitions. There's a raffle draw. This year, if you win a raffle draw, you can if you buy a raffle draw, you stand the chance of winning a plot of land in the city of Port Harcourt. You can win generators, you can win fridges, you can win what else? There are quite a lot of interesting things. A fridge, you can win quite a lot of things just by buying a raffle draw. The master classes are out of this world. Master classes that you can attend for 1 week and you can start a business. What can be more than that? And we have an entertainment village. We have an entertainment segment of this where you can come and hang out, food, whatever it is that you can benefit, not just for you, your spouse and your kids. There's going to be an open place where you can buy, sell, relax, eat and drink, and all those things will be there. So please, I will really like and ask that you make it a date. Is on from the 20th to the 25th of October this year. 20th, like in 4 months time, 20th to 25th. Follow me on social media, Uche Onochie. You can also follow me on Make in Nigeria, Marketplace Apostles, and so that you can get this information. This year is going to be, it is going to be awesome. I already have speakers coming out from out of the country, so you will be blessed, mightily blessed. So make it a date. I hope to see you guys. I'll keep giving you information as the day goes by. But let me stop here and just tell you, on Wednesday, 5 p.m., make it a day. Just send in your questions. That's how you participate. Just send in your questions and I'll come for 1 hour and answer your question. You don't need to put your name. You can just put Uche O Port Harcourt and we want to know where you're sending it from, and we just want to know one part of your name. Just leave it like that so that we can communicate with you on that level. So until I see you on Wednesday, God bless you and have a great night.